Well, hello everybody, my name is Zelia Bawansky, this one's Meteoruda.
Hi!
And we welcome you to another edition of Conelanders League Season 3. This is week 4?
I think it's week 4. We're in the nation formerly known as Germany.
God. We're at Nurburgring, GP Strecke GT Circuit, the smallest one available, I believe.
Which we're used to.
Racetrack built in 1984 and that will probably end in 2016 after a bunch of idiots in Miatas are gonna wreck it to bits.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that, but yes, it's not a place you usually see me out of, as we see the Heat 1 qualifiers, Cone Dodger. From Goonses, Thomas, Spooky Squid, Georgian Racer, D-Jump, Noah, NCWG4, and Jim Noy picking up the Heat 1 qualifications.
And yeah, this week really a lot of people entered. As we see, from Heat 1 failed to qualify, Rebel Cowboys and B, Jolo, Rotorex 2, Jims 32, Martin 224, Panda, Les Cubes, and Kurt J. Mac.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people saw Nurburgring like, yeah, we're going around the Nordschleife, oh, damn it. And then they realized where they're going around.
To be honest, it's Miata, I doubt it will be able to make a whole lap around Nordschleife.
Probably not, as Heat 2, Sharky naturally takes the pole, Servatis, Master Ponchik, Piker putting in another really good performance for a rookie, Holy Moose, Magnet OS, Mr. Bob, Psychedelics, 2-5, and Neon Tiger making up the final qualification position. Let's see who doesn't make it. Smart Pipe, Powers 2440, sorry about that, Mac 1 Fireman,
Yeah,
Carl PC 200, Incarcerant, Ollie Parsley, Vampyrion, and Shadow Wolf.
36 entered, 20 left in the feature race.
I'm sure that triggered a few people. Is there anything against having higher grids, or is it just management of all the people?
A certain mind doesn't want a larger grid. Let's end it at that.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Not to, I completely forgot that happened. You know, my mind is filled with only relevant things. Anyway, as we're on the grid, as you see our two names there, in case you want to send us hate mail, he actually spelled my first name correctly, so I am fucked.
Unlike your parents.
Or the IRS. They actually spelled my name wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do. My tax forms always have two T's.
I actually sent them a copy of this.
Shut up. I still pay my motherfucking taxes.
What taxes?
Anyway, before we enter into a whole new territory of triggering commentary, we're on the grid quite a long time here. I guess it was giving us room for this bullshit. We knew that we were just gonna fuck around.
To be honest, it's us. It's gonna happen sooner or later.
Oh,
we have lights, cars are revving up, we're about to start. In Nurburgring, lights are going green, cars are off the grid. I don't think anyone stalled, but I see cars in the last turn, because this is quite... Yeah, this is quite early on the start-finish straight, and some cars are forced to park in the last corner for the start. I bet it's not a pleasant experience, as they're all streaming into turn 1, which is a death turn. It's... Oh, everybody goes wide. I think Sharky Binched going a little bit. There is wrecking back there.
No.
Quite a few cars on the right went into the wall. I'm sure we will see a replay of that. As cars continue, Cone lost a couple of positions. Spiker is going up the inside and into P3. Sharky is still holding the lead. Cone is trying to go around Piker to regain third position in this race. Not enough speed at the exit of a turn.
Not enough speed, and people are deciding to go off the track, which is a little bit naughty.
Yes, this is where track cuts. We are not going to Schumacher S and that Bendix right there, as they turn straight into the Warsteiner curve, turn 11 and 12, as people extend track limits as they do. A little bit of sliding action right there for P4.
I think so, and I think the Schumacher S is the corner where I'm actually about to come to. I think it's the last S. It's the Schumacher S, not the one in the middle. As we see a couple cars off the road back there. I can't see from this distance who they are. It's a nice Martini livery there. I gotta say, about the only good thing that's ever come from you on a track ever.
Anyway, this is not the tight chicane we're used to. The short layout uses a faster chicane, in which you really can't go too wide, as gets proven by Mr. Bob getting tagged from behind a little bit.
That wasn't even too wide. Someone just went up into the ass.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Moose almost rejoined the track sideways, but managed to slide his car the other way around in the last possible moment. As we're finishing lap 1 already, this is a short circuit, we have 20 laps here. as Racer is all up in the draft of Squid. We'll probably try a move in turn 1 as we switch to Mr. Bob and Gunsis. Gunsis was involved in that crash early on after turn 1. So he in this unholy livery of his are gonna try and regain what was once his.
Oops. As we see someone getting all out of shape up there. Is that Tommy? Yes, it's Tommy's. As well, losing even more. Oh my god. Yeah, I just saw the side of that car. I have a usual rule of thumb whenever I see someone with those kind of things on their car. I'm not going to say it here because the commentary won't go way beyond 18 plus. Let's just say I've seen some things on the internet. And in a case in Oregon. Anyway,
Christ. As we see,
anybody who knows what I'm talking about is probably like, did he just
whoa!
go there? Yes, like,
And
oops, oops,
Gunsis,
oops.
another collision with Servatis as well. I think these two collided early on in the race, and they did it again. And a bit of bad blood development between these two, as a Racer lucky to stay alive after going wide in this turn. That was turn 12.
Well, there's track limits, and then there's track limits. As we get a replay of the start, hopefully this will shed some light as to what happened further back down the field. Something happened to the upper portions of the field too, because they were all out of shape. Let's see. Oops, what the hell?
Whoa, there's a bit of technical difficulties on Squid's car as he gets warped around a little bit, and a slow start from him as well. As we switch to turn 1, Servatis tags Sharky, that tags Cone. This is what happened early. Servatis really with nowhere to go, and Gunsis kind of swerves into Maestro.
What the hell? Goodness, what the hell were you doing there?
I'm
sorry.
2-5 loses. Oh, Servatis, yeah, kind of forced to rejoin in their own way. As we see from 2-5, who also spun out there a little bit.
Yeah, that looked like a sympathetic spin from here as we pass sheer driving pleasure, soon to be. I'm not going to say that either. See, anything else interesting happened back here that we missed? Okay, so there's the Calamity up at the top, and there's NCW, there's Gem Knight, and it looks like 2-5 just going to lose it on his own. Or he's going to hit NC. No, he hits NC.
No, NC didn't see him turned a little bit too much to the inside.
To me, it looked like 2-5 turned over on top of him, but whatever.
Well, both of them kind of went their own way. As we see what happened to Thomas, he got tagged by Moose there, and then tagged Moose back. And I guess Moose continued to almost rejoin into a pile of cars here, as we see what happened to Mr. Bob. He was trying to go too wide with Racer. The Squid didn't like that and just punted him off the track. Okay.
As we see, Powers actually, I think that's an illegal rejoin over the rumble strips into the pit entry, but I mean,
maybe.
I'm not sure exactly how that works, and no rules are enforced in this series anyway, so it doesn't matter. As we see, Tommy.
This is Thomas.
What the? He whips his car back and forth. He whips his car back and forth.
Entering the drift competition mid-race.
And Dijon almost wipes out Neon, who then gets tagged by Holy Moose.
God. This was a comedy of errors in this turn. We see Dijam doing the Nico Rosberg really. Just doing a quote-unquote full lock.
Yeah, not as dramatic as the Nico Rosberg that we saw in Monza with Holy Moose and I don't remember who else. Or, for that matter, in Mugello with Cone and Sharkit. But, let's see, where are we? We're in lap 3 now as Gym Knight goes down the inside of Racer. Sharky leads, surprise of the century from Master Ponchik. Piker doing another one of his amazing rookie performances. Yourself in 4th, and Cone in 5th, still recovering from the first turn calamity. Gaps-wise, well, I really can't see with this color scheme. Blame the Italians for that one. If you could see, go for it.
Yeah, I think the gap between Sharky and Maestro on top is around 2-3 seconds. Constantly change.
Oops.
Oh, that's what turn 1 does. Neon takes a little bit too much curb, and it dips very low in turn 1 here. So if you go too much on the inside, you will jump and lose all your speed on the exit going into the Mercedes Arena.
Yeah, and that actually has been flattened out a little bit over the years. I remember, years ago that some prototypes, when they were taking that corner, were actually just bottoming back the bottom of the car. Pretty to look at all the sparks and flying carbon, but not too good for the drivers. As we get a look up at you, who has Cone all over his rear, and you're all over the rear of Piker. This is very reminiscent of Mugello. Position slightly swapped, but yeah.
This trio is still going at it. As
Yeah.
we switch to NCWG, who's fighting with Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob tries to go around the outside here, and I think he might be able to hold it. And as he goes a little bit on the grass, and so does NCWG, it's like the party in California here. D-Jump tries to pick 2 positions from after that.
Smoke weed every day.
D-Jump clears NCWG. Looking at Mr. Bob, there's really no overtaking line in the chicane here. So he's
Yes, I stopped anyone before.
he slots back in and will try to make something happen in the last turn. As they are side by side, D-Jump on the inside, and I think he should be able to hold it. Yes, he does. Mr. Bob looking for a crossover, but not nearly enough speed. Guns is behind them. Last place, by the way. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, at least the last place car isn't like miles behind like they've been in a couple of races. We see Servatis going really deep on the outside there. Carrying a lot of speed through, going off the track. Is he going to be able to hold the inside, though, for the next corner? Yes, he's going to get him. He's going to get Psychedelic easily. A nice overtaking move there. Yeah.
Someone's off the track.
Yeah, that was... I missed it.
I think it was Noah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Psychedelic is fighting back there. Servatis is going to have to keep this. Now, unlike the real track... Oh, never mind, he gets ahead. I was about to say, unlike the real track, you don't swoop to the left next. That would have been an opportunity for Psychedelic, but as it stands, he's going to hold positions there. As we see now, Cone is all over your ass.
Biker is building
again,
a little bit of a gap, trying to save his podium. And Kodojo will have a run here as he has all the draft in the long straight bend type of thingy as he goes on the inside, and 2 cars are going for this chicane. I doubt they're gonna fit really, and I don't think anybody's gonna give that up. Both are going in, and a little bit swap. Oh, I think that's serious airtime.
Oh, that's gonna hurt your ass. Literally.
I think all 4 wheels just left the ground at some point.
Yeah, I'd love to get a slow-mo of that. Your car, not your ass. As we see Neon Tiger, I can see that in real time, taking the inside, getting around a Holy Moose. Yeah, I didn't think that you guys were both going to be able to make that without ending in a calamity, as we saw in Magella. But yeah, Cone definitely has the pace over you. Now he's going to set his sights on Piker, who probably wasn't trying to build a gap for positional purposes, but rather waiting for the impending accident.
Gunsis overtook NCWG at some point, and now he is taking a look at Mr. Bob on the inside coming into turn 1. It should be a rather easy overtake unless he just slows down a bit too much. Not really. Mr. Bob goes very, very wide, keeping his speed, and will keep the inside for now. Gunsis has to stay alongside to be able to claim his place in turn 4. He's doing just that for now. Nice side-by-side action. Gunsis is still side-by-side a little bit behind. I'm not sure Mr. Bob will have enough time to close the gap, but he does. Nice maneuver by Mr. Bob, who keeps his place for now.
Yeah, no, all he had to really do was once he had enough traction, just close down on the inside of Gunsis. He did, and holds the position. Very nicely done. Yeah, the first corner is a rather interesting one because there really are 2 fast lines through there, the outside or the inside, depending on where you take it. You can get both done, which is why we saw an almost even exchange going into the second corner. So we go to Racer now, who is under attack from Noah. Looks like Servatis is trying to pull a little bit of a gap there, get the hell away from, well, what he thinks is probably going to be another impending accident.
Yeah, he's been having too much of them recently, so...
Yeah.
And 2 already in this race. I doubt he would want another one at this point. As Gunsis, D-Jump and Mr. Bob still going at it into the chicane, Mr. Bob looks but doesn't go, probably psyching Gunsis out as he lost the position somewhere on the track.
Oops, green car spinning there.
Yeah, that's D-Jump facing the wall.
Yep, got out of shape, leaving the chicane and, well, found the wall. Let's see. It's a little bit less of a more sedate at this point in the race because we don't have a Shark Era Cone flying their way up the field, but still action all around. Noah's under attack from Psychedelic, but Psychedelic didn't break late enough, or well, you might be able to argue he broke. Never mind. I was about to say the same thing twice. I don't know where I was going with that, so let's move on.
Nowhere.
As we see an exchange between Noah, shut up, Noah pushing Psychedelic wide. That's going to open the door for Tommy's. Tommy's is going to be able to do the same thing, go on the outside and cut down. No, because he's going to actually try and try and attack himself. Doesn't quite work, as we now have a gaggle of 4 cars. Everybody wanting the same place. This is going to get spicy.
We're going too wide, too deep.
Oops,
There is
touch.
paint trading up ahead. Moose is cutting very close to Psychedelics, but able to get the move done around the outside. Nice maneuver right there. As we see a bunch of replays, I guess. Neon Tiger and Mr. Tom is there. I think that was forcing a little bit wide. Thomas is not kind to that kind of behavior, making sure Neon gets the message by bumping into the side on rejoin. And that is gonna give the opportunity to Moose to go 3 wide as...
Nope.
Okay, Moose found his sanity and didn't go for it. As we see another replay of that moment in the chicane. Going
Up and down and all around. Oh,
jumps on the first chicane and forced the other guy off track, and I'm surprised nobody ended up in the wall after that.
Yeah, just a light touch, enough just to push you out of the picture. Yeah, Moose actually finally, found some sanity, because he likes to be really aggressive. He's, I think, really a Brazilian. He likes to shave it close. As NC gets all out of shape, that's why he was further down the field. As we see D jump, and what happened to him? Too much curb. Too much curb.
Curb on the right, just you don't have enough traction, and Miata is pretty low to the ground. So if you catch the curb, you're done.
Yep. As we rejoin the battle of the insanity, as it were, Holy Moose pulling back a little bit. I think he's seen the aggressive driving up front and just trying to play it safe. Or maybe he's just slow as hell. I really don't know. I'm going to make an assumption as we see 2 cars exploring, let's say, the outside limits of the track. And the nice thing about the Nurburgring is, well, you leave the track and there's grass. There's not, super amazing tarmac as there are in most modern tracks.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're going to have a race in Zand...
Oops.
Goodbye, Gunsis. As we're gonna have a race in Zandvoort, which...
No explanation, no analysis, just goodbye, Princess.
Well, it's the 3rd time this race.
Yeah, I know.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, Zandvoort, yeah.
Zandvoort, which has no exit curbs in most of the places, because apparently these are too expensive for Belgians. Or Dutchmen, one of those.
I think Zandvoort's Dutch.
I'm still not sure.
They spend it all on weed, that's the problem.
Yeah, either way, basically, if you go off the track, you go straight into gravel.
I hear typing. Yes.
It is Dutch, yes.
Yeah, it's Neon Tiger. I was about to say, Zandvoort doesn't sound Belgian, it sounds Dutch.
Well, to be honest, this language is quite close.
It's same thing in the end. Never mind. I'm trying to not go places I want to go.
As Gunsis was already spinning in the first one, he just lost it. I think braking and turning?
Yeah, I think brake turning. A little bit of a bump there going in and just whoop, around the road.
What was that sound?
There it is.
No. We're switching from that as soon as humanly possible. As I think Charlie Whiten would have an aneurysm looking at turn 11 here, as everybody just goes wide, completely ignoring the white line.
Well, it will. I mean, I hold the theory that Charlie Whiting has multiple personality disorder, so it depends on which one of him shows up. Because half the time, well, and it can switch halfway through the race,
Yeah,
just
true.
like, oh, okay, we're gonna allow it, and I don't know, suddenly, pick your favorite driver tries to do it. Nope, denied, penalty. I think didn't Massa have that happen to him earlier in the year?
Maybe as Conelanders goes for inside and turn 1 will continue that after cars would stop overtaking each other. Please, Jesus, we're talking here.
I know, right? God, how rude, how inconsiderate.
Cone makes that overtake rather fast and easy on Piker. I don't think Piker just tried to hold the position too hard.
Yeah, Piker is doing fantastic for a rookie, and Cone is faster than everybody except for Sharky, and arguably Ponchik, depending on the day. So, no dishonor in being passed there, but still, P4, really nice, and well, you never know with the way Ponchik could be a little bit aggressive, let's say, in the history that Cone and Sharky have with one another. Anything is possible at this point. We could have a Verstappen run to victory out of Piker, but I don't think that's here just yet. As we see Neon Tiger, well, getting a little bit, but still this battle pack of 4 does not want to leave one another. They want to be held close, and oh god, the side of that car.
A little
Every
bit
time
of
I see it, I just see like, you know, this weird this dude with this kind of sensual look in his eye, and then a tiger's.
no, thank you.
Exactly, it's a weird combination. Not into
A
that.
bit of instability for Neon, but he, I believe, is racing with a controller, so that's to be expected. Not bad for
I
you.
thought you were about to say a bit of instability from your co-commentator, asshole.
That too. To be honest, top 20 are already, well, most of them are top half, as again we had 36 entries this week as Racer just assaults this curb on the inside. Mr. Thomas has nowhere to go really, so forced to just sit behind him and watch the calamity unfold. As they go to start-finish straight here for the 10th time this race.
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm just
Pit
looking at the
window?
table.
Yeah, pit window should be opening soon if, well, unless there's a red flag caused by whatever the hell's happening down to the back end of the field. I'm seeing things just going. There we go again. God.
True. Mr. Bob goes inside of 2.5 on the start-finish straight. 2.5 didn't fight at all, so Mr. Bob had it free of charge, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So pit stops. We haven't talked about that yet, but one thing I want to. You said 36 entries.
Yes.
So almost half the people couldn't race.
Well, they raced. Basically, the
In the feature, almost half the people got cut out of the feature.
there is a system with a second feature, so basically those who didn't qualify for the main one, there is a secondary one. It's paying out way less points, and not to everyone, but there is parallel to this. There was another race for those who failed to qualify.
And that's simpler than upping the player count. How? Anyway, pit window tires. Is that going to be a thing here? There seem to be a lot of sweeping corners. I would think it would be a legit strategy, but I've been wrong before.
Probably, again, it takes about 13 to 15 extra seconds, and with 10 laps to go, you would have to gain more than a second a lap on your previous time or on your old tire times to make it a viable strategy, which is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be. It seems like this is the situation that we've found in all the races this year. In that, maybe if you're midfield and want to take a risk, go for it. If you're at the ass end of the field, well, you got nothing to lose. But I wouldn't. With that information, I wouldn't expect anyone in the top 8 to take tires. Certainly.
Probably, as we
Maybe
see
not even the top
Gemini
12.
on the pit lane, the first one officially opening the pit window in the beginning of lap 10. I would assume a big wave is coming in at the end of this lap, split in half and half.
Yeah, probably 50-50 split is probably the easiest and the oops.
Oh, Noah slides around in turn 1. I don't think he spun out. He just lost a couple of positions there.
Yeah, it looked like a 90-degree spin. He should be able to gather that up quite easily, though, just out of shape on the first corner. So 50-50, simplest, easiest one to manage. Nobody coming in early for anything eccentric in that direction. We'll see if anybody stays out late, takes a quick squirt, and then it goes. I don't know. Again, the cars are slow enough that I don't know if splitting strategies in that way is even effective. I'm used to things that go more than 90 miles an hour. As we see Noah going down the inside.
Very
Go
true,
ahead.
but going late on the fuel will grant you slower pit stop. As D-Jumps tries a crossover. Interesting plan, didn't work. As we see a replay of...
It would be a faster pit stop going late on the fuel.
Yes, it is a faster pit stop just because, well, the fueling takes time, and the less fuel you have, the faster the pit is. So you can save a couple of seconds doing a late
You said
pit.
slower, though. That's why I mentioned that. You said it would be slower if they took it late.
Oh.
You can do math.
I
Anyway,
can.
you were saying...
It
as we have
might be
replays of spin-
it might be slower on tire because you are gonna force you're gonna force them
Oops.
warm. Oh, actually he did
spin.
after all.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bob extending the track limits almost collected him off the track.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, wow, that sucks for Noah.
Oh yeah.
Mistake, and yeah, you don't have a window. He could have gone there.
Whoa, Guns is cutting it a bit close.
Yeah, Goons has had his own adventures. I guess he was just trying to say, "Hey, me too," as this is what spawned the battle with D-Jump that we're seeing on screen now. Funnily enough.
Yeah, it looked like a small spin there, but I think Noah lost at least 5 positions there by being forced to stay there and wait for the rest of the field to pass.
Yeah, what more can you say about that?
Just
It seems
unfortunate.
like this race has had a lot of unforced errors in it. It is a different track to what we've been racing on, which is mostly straights, slow corner, straight, slow
Yeah,
corner.
gonna stop you right there as Condodger Piker and me are on the pit lane right about now. Magnet, Spooky Squid, Maestro, and Sharky went through. They'll be stopping later in the race, but all 3 cars there fighting for position are beaten now, as well as Mr. Thomas, Holy Moose, Neon Tiger. I guess a bunch of other cars are gonna join the pit lane sooner rather than later. There we see a bunch of cars in pit lane. Biker is exiting the pits. Mr. Thomas missed his box. I think Biker took tires because he entered the pit lane with Cone and me and exited much later than that, as we see Gunsters and Dijump also on the pit lane. Pit is very clogged up as Moose tries an overtake on the pit lane. Pit limiter off. There, not staying within the white line. Moose performs an illegal overtake.
Yeah.
He almost pays for it.
Almost instant karma.
Karma was almost a bitch right there.
Yeah. But I guess I'm not gonna say anything else. I think you know where I wanted to go with that.
Oh yeah.
As Thomas, gonna take it to Moose. Thomas himself went off the track.
Magnet is slow.
Fuel.
I think he ran out of fuel. Tried to extend it to 11 laps. Nope. As he parks the vehicle, he would have to be towed into the pit lane. He will be able to continue the race, but he will have to be towed. As Mr. Thomas and the Holy Moose are still going at it, Thomas probably not really happy at what Moose did to him at the exit of the pit lane.
Thomas crossed the line himself in response, but not nearly as much. I mean, it still would have been a drive-through anyway. As we see, well, there's the towed car in the pit lane just waiting as Ponchik comes in for his pit stop.
Squid comes in, Spartis comes in as well.
Yep. So who's left has in pit? Racer, Bob, Psychedelic 2-5. Okay. As some of them are coming in now as I'm speaking.
Maestro rejoins the race, and other cars, yes there is Cone Dodger right there, and they'll be racing at the pit exit.
Yep, this could end, well, badly. Ponchik is known for his very aggressive defense, as judged by all the caution tape all over his car. But it looks like Cone on the warmer tires just goes around him and says, "Sayonara, Ruski, you're mine today, America."
Maestro is crossing over, trying to hold the inside line here, which will become the outside. Maybe a crossover here, maybe just hold it. Cone goes in front, not enough speed for Maestro, as Cone gets a 2nd place now. We see Biker and Magnet who rejoined the race after being towed, and Biker who took tires, and as Gemnet and Servatis in front of him fight for position. All that is for 6th place.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see Piker take tires. I mean, P4 was comfortable. Maybe he wasn't feeling comfortable in the car. Maybe he thinks tire wear's higher. I don't know. It should be interesting to see. He needs to clear these cars fast if he wants to make anything from it.
Very true. Magnet found himself in an uncomfortable position because he is actually a lap down on these 3 cars, but it looks like he is faster than them. So, do you unlap yourself? Do you not?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a quandary. I remember. I forget who did it to Senna, but somebody did that to Senna back in the day, and then it sparked a huge debate. Unlapping yourself is a tricky proposition unless you are clearly extremely fast compared with the guy.
Biker was looking on the inside of Gemnite right there, spooked him a little bit. As we see a battle of Russians on the start-finish line, Maestro dipped a little bit after losing the position to Cone Dodger, as he's about to lose another position going into the start-finish, already clear. Not really coming over. A bit late to make sure.
Oops.
There is cover.
Nicely got it.
A little bit of sliding action right there, and there is a position gained as Maestro drops 2 positions after his pit stop. Biker trying to go around the outside of Gemnet. He needs to make these tires work as soon as possible if he wants to get Servatis and try to catch Spooky Squid. There is a 6-second gap between this pack and Squid, but Squid is in the clean air.
Yeah, Piker needs to make this happen now, or he fucked himself hard going for tires. It seems like the new tire change model for cars like these is just not giving enough advantage to new tires. Magnet actually is looking to make a move, slots back in wisely.
Attempting a bit of an overdrive, maybe. Yeah. Biker and Gemini going side by side. Biker tries to make the outside line work, which will become the inside for the next turn. He just needs to stay alongside Gemini
to get
this position. He is there. He is a little bit in front. Gemini is not going to give up the position easily. He goes wide doing
Wow.
that, but he will have the inside there. Piker slots back in, but he will have the draft here on the long straight, and so will Magnet. All of them. Never mind, Gemini just lost it there. I didn't
How
even
did
see
you
that.
miss that? How did you miss that? It happened right in front of your face.
I was looking
But
at
yeah,
Magnet.
yeah, but yeah, no, Gemini went off the track to defend his position to Piker, and well, I don't know if he willfully gave the position to him, but you know, in the end, justice is served, as we see Magnet getting mixed up here with Piker, Gemini, and Servatus. Comes out after his little fuel whoopsie, as we see Piker trying to go to the outside, and Magnet blocking, changing direction. I don't know if that was changing direction twice because it was going in the corner, as he swoops wide as Piker goes through. Do you get blue flags in this game? I can't remember.
You do, but you're not forced to abide. So.
Well, it's in this league, you're not forced to abide by any rules of racing.
I think Piker,
Oops.
yeah, Piker made sure Gemini is out of his way.
That's one way of making him get the position back. That's naughty. That's very naughty.
That's very naughty. I
Piker.
guess Piker was very, very unsatisfied with Gemini's speed.
Piker, I love you, man, but you can't be doing shit like that.
Yeah, that was not clean at all. And with
Nope.
that, Piker screwed himself off for a bit, as I assume he had to slow down a little bit to avoid being collected. Servatus pulled a bit of a gap, a bit, 4-second gap right there. Psychedelics and Mr. Bob
Your
going...
definition of a bit is a little weird, man.
Shush. Mr. Bob and Psychedelics going for 11th position right there. Mr. Bob will have the inside, but as we know, turn 1, anything can work there.
Yeah, turn 1 really is a neutral corner almost. Inside, outside, if you play your cards right, you can hold relative same position to the other guy. The question is then, how do you align yourself for the second corner? In which case, the outside almost is a bit of an advantage. It doesn't quite work out that way this time. But, you know, it's an interesting complex. It is a really unique sort of geometry to the corner, the way it works, that you could be able to pull that kind of stuff out. It's cool to see.
Very true, yes. It's an interesting corner. Mania driver don't like it just because it's difficult. It's a very difficult corner to master, and
The modern racing driver is more like a Jensen Button than a Kimi Räikkönen. They are programmed to complain about everything. Be it, you know, tracks with tarmac or gravel or some bullshit Halo stuff. I mean, all you hear is whine, complain, whine, complain. It used to be racers had to have balls. Even the female drivers, they might have ovaries, but they were fucking huge because it took a pair to race those things, and now it's just Generation Snowflake, the racing car edition. Anyway, that's my little rant out of the way. Psychedelic is coming back. Psychedelic is a man with a mission. Psychedelic wants to make this happen before the chicane because we know what happens if you go too wide there. Or maybe he doesn't because he's
he
trying
will
to
be
make it
going
work.
on the inside.
Oh god. Prepare Uranus.
These
Here
two
we
are in for a
go.
ride, going too wide into the chicane, and Mr. Bob just gives it up. Mr.
I
Bob,
don't know if Psychedelic took a lot more speed or if Mr. Bob's just like, fuck this, I'm out.
I think
But-
Mr. Bob just wanted a new fire suit right there.
Yeah. He found his dry cleaning.
That was a ballsy move right there. A little bit insane, but well, as we see, Servatus actually.
Well, what?
I will not
Servatus-
continue that. Servatus caught up to Squid, and what was once a 5-second gap is now a 0-second gap, as Servatus actually tries to go around the outside of Squid. Is Squid just losing pace because of old tires?
I don't know. Well, if he loses in pace because of old tires, we should see Sharkey, Cone, yourself, Ponchik, and Squid all falling back to these two, Servatus and Pico. Did Servatus take tires? I know Pico
I'm
did.
not sure. He was quite far back, but now he is 6th. I assume he didn't.
Yeah, no, well, if not tires, then what is the question? Damage? Maybe, but I haven't
that-
seen him have any kind of a moment.
There is barely enough damage to cause some serious issues, if any.
Yeah, otherwise the halved racing field would be halved even further by the first corner.
Very true. I assume it just lost his rhythm.
Yeah, maybe. Easy enough to do. It's not the most complicated of tracks, but rhythm is a funny thing. Once you lose it, it is hard to get it back, especially if you're distracted with a battle like this, trying to defend, attack, attack.
Spooky
Seems-
Squid making
Yep,
sure
all
the
the way
inside
down
of
the
his just pushing down. Servatus will take the outside gladly. as he made one overtake stick in here already. He is going for another one. Squid is pushing a little bit wide. Servat is taking a safe route to avoid another calamity here. Comes back at Squid, scaring him a little bit. As Squid just scared himself outside the track. He will rejoin side by side. Servatis holds it, yes, and Squid slows back inside, tries to cross over. That's not the way you want to cross over.
I admire the idea, but the execution was a little wanting, as Squid loses another position. And when shit like this happens, losing your rhythm when you're all by yourself is bad enough. You can usually get yourself back and regain composure, as we see NCWG and D-Jump losing it all by himself. You can usually regain composure if you're by yourself, but if you're getting overtaken, it just pisses you off further. You lose your rhythm further, and it's just a vicious cycle. As we see Spooky Squid still over the back of Servatis.
Very true, and if you get overtaken, another problem is the fact that you no longer see the clear track in front of you, and you might miss your reference points, and it's even harder to race your race when somebody's
now you're
right
reacting.
in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. And the dirty air, which isn't as much of a thing in these cars, but it still exists. It's overall a really bad situation.
Very true. As Piker behind, we could see, is not too far back. That's a couple of seconds.
Also, side note, why don't they use?
Servatis goes. Servatis goes into the wall again. I don't know if he lost it by himself or Squid helped him, but that's another.
It's the same thing we've seen before. Same thing we've seen before. Getting out of shape after the second part of the chicane and just finding a wall. Why don't they use this chicane in F1? Because I like this a lot better than the one they used there. As Magnet OS is behind Piker. Piker not really making the tires work, or maybe something else has gone wrong, but Piker's losing all the pace now. As we see Magnet.
Piker's losing. Piker's losing pace and Magnet is losing patience behind him, as clearly evident here. Yeah. We switch to Cone Dodger. That is still under fire for the second place right here, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, no, well, it's surprising to see you doing something involving rapid velocity. Yeah.
And as we can see, Maestro...
Either that or Cone had a really shitty pit stop and it just never recovered. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any other thing.
Maestro is losing pace to these two. Maestro is already 4.5 seconds behind.
Tires, maybe. That actually might have been a thing. It might just be we saw it affecting some people earlier than others, especially some of the people that had, let's just say, sideways adventures along the race. So, well, but then again, the thing is Piker's on new tires, and he still hasn't been able to catch these guys reliably.
Very true. Maybe it's not the tires themselves, maybe it's the setup, the pressure, the temp.
Yeah, could be.
If you're overheating the tires,
yep, overheating.
These fast sweeping corners like turn 11, 12 will get you in trouble.
Yeah, they will. I don't know. Again, these aren't, and I stress this almost every video, these aren't aerodynamic-based cars. They don't act the way that most people consider real race cars to act. But you can still slide the tires around a lot. It's a different sort of loading, and I'm not going to get all technical and sciencey here. I know, right? A disappointment for the last 3 laps. You won't get to hear me spout bullshit. Well, actually, what have you been listening to the past 18? Anyway, it's a different kind of loading and not one that I would expect to have that dramatic of an effect on this car. However, the way that these setups work with a lot of these people is they put it very close to the edge. Especially with this being, what, the third season now in the same car? Second. Whatever.
The first one in GT86 and second and third in Miata.
Yeah, so third season in very slow vehicles. The setups have sort of been adapted to that. It's a different kind of car, and well, I can't see the data myself on the screen, so I can't make a judgment call there. That was a really, really long and drawn-out way of me saying I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. As we see the battle continuing, your headlights still on, trolling the shit out of Cone.
True, but they're usually trolling the shit out of the guy behind me, because, well, it looks like my stoplight's on all the time.
Oh, that would be brilliant if you just like turn them on early in a corner just to catch somebody.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh god, we're gonna see that in, well, season 4, which will be live once this commentary comes out probably. It's like the flashing light in F1. It's just like Wait, why does he have rain mode on? Oh, wait. That's the most useless thing I think I've ever seen in an F1 car. Not
Wait.
the rain light. The I'm in
recoup
ERS
energy.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Just like you're the best drivers in the world.
I'm 1/10 slower. Watch out.
I know, right?
Whoa! There's slight nation that maybe that may have cost me a chance at second.
That's not how you're supposed to take the corner. But it was freaking cool.
But I think I got style points for that.
Oh no, for sure. You win this race in style as Piker's now all over the back of Spooky Squid, having pulled the gap to Magnet. Well, a gap to Magnet, I say again, lap down and all that. But, you know, it could be that Magnet took tires too. I didn't consider that possibility, but maybe Magnet took tires as well when
Maybe.
he had the toe calamity, and that's why we see their relative pace be the same, because he was not that close to Spooky Squid too long ago.
Yeah, true.
It's a little...
Magnet has nowhere to lose, really, by taking extra
Yeah.
tires. And Piker finally catching some breath of fresh air and not having Magnet right behind him. He's catching up to Squid rather fast, but unfortunately we don't see Servatis in front of Squid, so we don't know his relative pace compared to the rest of cars around him. I don't know if Squid is still slow or Piker finally found his pace.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It'll be a net loss for Piker in the end. You know, if he gets Squid, he'll be in 5th instead of 4th. But then again, if these tires really are affecting these guys as much as we think they might be, would he have been able to hold on? It's a question we'll never know the answer to. But we have one more lap here, one more lap for Piker. For Piker to continue his run of very, very good performances.
And Squid is giving him
P5.
extra 10th there by going wide. And he will be in draft distance right there. I don't think he'll be close enough to attempt to move, but it will set him up for a possible move on the last lap. Probably he needs to stay with him throughout the Mercedes arena and try to make a move happen in the second part of the track. Maybe just wait till turn 12, nail it, and get him on the straightaway before the chicane.
I don't think the Mercedes arena exists at a track sponsored by BMW, but that's Hockenheim. Anyway, as we switch to the other battle going on, your drifto moment did cost you some time, but you were clawing it back on Cone. Maybe a last-second maneuver? I don't know.
Maybe there is probably around a second difference there, but Cone will need to screw up big time to allow me close enough on the straightaway to get some draft.
Especially if you do that shit.
To get some draft onto the straight before the chicane.
Yeah. Well, unless you bomb it up the chicane like he did to you.
Maybe, as we see Sharky on the last lap almost catching up to Gunses right there. Gunses
Nobody cares. Let's go back to the battles.
is trying to save his face by not going a lap down there. As Sharky is gonna take the checkered flag here in Nurburgring in just a moment's time. On the start-finish line he goes and takes another win. As we switch to Piker and Spooky Squid up ahead, the distance is too far.
Oh.
Piker is going on the inside, Spooky Squid will not let it go, and they will be going into the chicane, last turn too wide. Spooky Squid goes round the outside, still ahead of he catches the curb, still ahead of Piker. Piker will have a move into the last turn. He will try to squeeze in. No space at all. Spooky Squid is still ahead. Piker can still get a nicer exit. He does. He is in the draft, but the start-finish line is too close, and Squid is able to hold that position.
Nicely
What a
done from
race.
both there. Yeah, no, Squid, I don't know how Squid held his car after the bumps, after we saw so many going off into the wall, but he did manage to hold P5, P6 for Piker. Nicely done from him as we see Holy Moose and Tommy's. Tommy's is going to go up into the ass of Moose, maybe? Yep.
Yes, he
touchy,
does.
Touchy.
Spins Moose around on the last lap.
Touch me. I wanna be daddy. Anyway, that's enough Rocky Horror for one day. Although, to be fair, after what Moose did with Tommy's cutting the pit exit, I think that was just karma. Yeah, karma. Exactly. She was a little bit late to the party, but she came all the same. As we
Mr.
see
Bob
a
lost
whole
the
fight
position
attack.
there before the finish line to Moose. I
Yeah.
think he lost it or ran out of fuel or something. As we switch to our race winner, Sharky, in this unholy vehicle.
I bet that girl is under the age of consent in most modern nations.
Not Japan, though.
Japan not being one of them.
Even though that's the second win for Sharky, as I assume he will claim the lead in the championship after that performance. He was 20 seconds clear of everybody else this time around.
My
As
God, There are more underage girls on this car than you see in the Middle East. Anyway, we're going to get a rundown coming up soon of how the race finished, hopefully, so we can get off that No! No! Oh, I'm so triggered right now.
We're not getting off that goddamn
No.
livery as Sharky wins the race in 35 minutes 6 seconds. Behind him, 20 seconds, Cone Dodger and me separated by less than a second, followed by Mr. Ponchik, Spooky Squid, Biker, best of the rookies. Servatis climbing back up to 7th place, Gem Knight 8th, Mr. Thomas, and the Holy Moose rounding out our top 10 for this race. I think Matt died.
Yeah, I wanted to after seeing what I saw. As Mr. Bob is in 11th, Psychedelic, and Racer 0940 25. I never forgot about that one. Neon Tiger, NCW G4, D-Jump, Noah, Goonces after his many adventures, and Magnet after his, well, fuel adventure, let's just say. Yeah. What more is there to say about that? It was a fun race. It was interesting, as we're going to get a championship rundown now. I just want this effing 12-year-old off my screen. Why am I saying effing now? I said fuck like 5 times in this race.
I was about to say, like, what is stopping you now exactly?
Yeah, don't stop me now. As Sharky takes the lead from Cone Dodger, 4 points. Wow, huge gap, I know. Master Ponchik trails by 1, Servatis in 4th place, then Gem Knight, Piker sliding down a couple of places, but still very respectable and top of the rookies. Spooky Squid, then Georgian, Tommy's, and the Holy Moose round out the top 10 of the championship.
That is a very respectable performance by Piker once again, as he leads the rookie standings by 20 points over Mr. Thomas. Magnet, after his miserable performance in the feature, is down to 3rd, followed by Racer, Smart Pipe, Mr. Bob, Carl PC 200, Ollie Parsley, Kurji Mac gaining whole 2 points this weekend, and James 30 with 11 is 10th amongst rookies. This was a great race with some interesting battles throughout the race and at the finish line by Piker and Squid. Very nice performance. And next week we'll be going to Silverstone, which is another short layout which will give us plenty of close racing on a large field. And with that said, thanks so much for watching. I have no idea how long we have in this broadcast.
We got another 30 seconds here. So yeah, I was about to say large field. Yeah, we'll go with large.
20 cars on half the Silverstone is a large field.
Yeah, but when you're cutting off half the people from the main feature, I mean, I'd love to be able to commentate on everybody. I don't want to exclude anybody. I'm non-exclusive.
Yes, that would be really interesting to have like a large field, like 35 car field, and maybe this will happen one day. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, 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 wink.
When we start the Backmarkers F1 series, that's the only way that's going to happen.
And that said, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace, guys.